This is Princess Day, and boy, did I think this was going to be a lot funnier. With a title like Princess Day, man, there's a lot of options there. Even the setting's really good.
Yeah.
Like the Breakfast Kingdom, like that's like probably my favorite kingdom out of all the places they've made. And it still looks amazing. Like even the little car they drive is amazing.
Except for the olives.
What?
I found that interesting. The lights, the headlights were like olives.
Were they?
I don't think of those as much breakfasty things.
No, I usually don't
noticed
either.
that.
Maybe there's somebody that has.
I mean, it's possible.
Keep up with olives. Hey, anyway. All right, so the setup is all the princesses are meeting. By the way, we had a bet. I thought there was going to be a character named Princess Day.
Which would have been awesome.
And that was
honestly.
going to be the
Fun.
setup. But they all meet for Princess Day just to go over, I guess, princessy stuff. Like they all need something from the other princesses and stuff. And
It's like the UN.
I guess so, yeah, princesses.
It's a princess UN.
Well, they
And-
each have their own kingdom.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually, UN makes perfect sense.
Except for LSP, who apparently doesn't have her own kingdom, which really confused me, because doesn't she? 'Cause
Not
we-
now, she ran away from home.
yeah.
Also, oh, that's
Her,
why.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I was saying like, wait, she came from that. We've seen that kingdom, but because she ran away, it doesn't count anymore. Okay,
But she's like a hippie.
I'm like a hippie. She lives in a box down
No,
by
log.
the river. Okay, log,
It's now a log.
down by the river, and Marcelina's also there, which really threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
But then I realized, oh wait, I guess she kind of is,
Yeah.
because her dad's like the Lord of Darkness, which not technically king, but whatever. And
When they call her the Vampire Queen.
yeah, so that's even more
So,
confusing.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
okay, let me just bring up major flaw really quick. She's out in the sun throughout a
That's
lot of this
true.
episode.
Yeah.
Which, even when she gets teleported in from somewhere else, she was still in all the
Yeah.
covering to stop from bursting into flames. This one, they were driving the entire time in the sun.
With the top down and everything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And even her hair was up in a ponytail.
Yeah.
I can't think of any way around that. You're
See,
right.
I was waiting for it to be like a dream LSP was having. Like me, because remember, she's sitting there going, ah. I was
Yeah,
just-
maybe it was all a dream.
But
Maybe it's
God,
Liz.
that's a great. Maybe in this next episode they'll reveal it, but yeah, you're right. I didn't even pick up on that. You're absolutely right.
I was actually I'm not a fan of LSP, and I was already getting frustrated with the episode. This episode is incredibly mean-spirited.
yes.
Yes, it was.
But then when they go outside and everything, I'm like, normally they're very careful.
yeah,
about,
they're
like-
usually right on top of that.
But this one, I mean, if she was putting on some cream or something like that, and
Yeah,
what are
just
you doing?
something,
Suntan
explaining
lotion
it.
or something.
Or even put a hat on.
You know, it's like I don't know.
Yeah, God, I didn't even think of that. That's a great point. But so LSP is sort of seen as not being a real princess because she ran away. So Marceline is bored, so they go and just start making trouble because I guess they just don't like the other princesses, and that's pretty much it. And it's got a Thelma and Louise vibe because yeah, that hasn't been parodied yet. You know,
Never.
those 20-year-old movies that. Really? Thelma and Louise? but okay, I mean, if it led to great jokes, whatever, but yeah, they're just doing mean stuff. It's, you know, and usually with Adventure Time, they do the mean stuff okay, but yeah, it was just like they just sort of push people and hurt people. They go, ha ha ha, and they kick them, literally kick them while they're down. They hit one with a car, tell her to, you know, dig, I guess, a sandcastle, which is similar to digging a grave. They just leave her there.
Yeah.
And then they crash the car again, cementing that it's Thelma and Louise because the car is going off the cliff. And then the toaster strudel princess finishes her little speech, gets an egg laid on her, and says, "Best Princess Day ever," and that was it. I was waiting for it to build to something, because you're right, it even starts off mean-spirited, like with them all yelling at, you know, LSP, which is like, okay, she's sort of making a big deal anyway, but it's like, they're all being really mean to her, you know, I mean, like, especially mean, though, I mean, like, you don't even have a home, you have a law, we don't even know why you're here, it's like, It's really harsh.
It felt in the beginning, I thought, when LSP and Marcy first started off doing their crappy things, at first I was kind of like, because I really felt the vibe coming from Breakfast Princess was one of those bitches. Even the way...
High school.
Yes,
Yeah.
even the way she talked, and oh my god, you just don't belong here. Like that sort of Valley Girl type, I don't know, just your stereotypical...
Mean Girls.
Yes. And so at first I was like, yeah, okay, this kind of makes sense, whatever, but it just went so wrong that you ended up feeling awful for everything that happened, when at first I was like, yeah, hell yeah, cut up their, they were horrible, they were mean, whatever. But even when Breakfast Princess was being mean, it felt like, okay, it's just your stereotypical whatever meanness. We'll go somewhere with this. Something's going to happen.
Yeah, like it was building up to something.
But it didn't. It built up to this horribleness. And even at Marcy's worst in the beginning, when she was this badass queen or whatever, or vampire queen, and, they were scared of her, when Jake was scared of her, even then she wasn't that mean. She liked people to think she was that mean. But she really wasn't.
And actually, LSP was even worse than her. Because if you
Yes.
notice, Marceline was more or less kind of like pushing the buttons.
Mm-hmm.
And as she was texting to Peebles that, I'm going to see how far this can go and all
Yeah.
that stuff. It really wasn't even Marcy being that bad of a person. It was more LSP being bad and Marceline going, keep going.
Even
Keep
that
going.
scene. What was the point of that scene, of the texting to them? Just to show what
Yeah.
the phones look like? I mean, the phones look cool.
I think,
mean,
again, it was the whole high school Mean Girls type thing
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
But then it
But
turns
it
into
didn't
Thelma and
work.
Louise, so it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
it's...
it
I think this episode had no idea what it wanted to do.
yeah.
There's episodes, and I'm not saying every Adventure Time episode does this, I'm not saying every one should. There was nothing to be learned or gained from this episode. Like, I was expecting maybe Breakfast Princess to be like, okay, sorry, LSP, for me being kind of a jerk to you. You may not live in your kingdom, but you still are a princess. Or something. Maybe learn a lesson to not be such a bitch. But in the end, she throws down the shovel and just walks back. It's like, okay, nothing is learned there.
Well, even...
LSP and Marcy don't... Or LSP and Marcy, they don't even learn anything. Did we do bad things back there? Yeah, but, whatever.
Yeah, like, even that's not really real.
Yeah.
And Marcy even says, well, no, I don't think we're bad people. I mean, bad people do bad things, and is that bad? Well, I mean, not if you just do it once, because it's just... And they, totally, gloss over the whole thing, this whole shit, even though it was horrible and mean-spirited like nobody's business, it's okay, because it's the first time we did it. That, and, and she's like, oh, I feel bad about, taking the CD, we'll mail it back. That's not the point. That's not even the point.
Well, and there are... there are episodes where...
Hold on 1 second. They can't mail back the CD. It was still in the car when it hit the ground and blew up. So, even that can't happen. Sorry, go on.
Just add insult to injury.
Exactly!
But there are episodes they've had where they either haven't had a moral or have even made fun of the fact that there's no moral,
Yeah.
or maybe there's going to be
Yeah.
moral and not deliver it. So, I mean, that's really nothing new, but they've usually had some sort of really enjoyable, funny extreme. And with these extremes, if you're going to do it, it's like they don't even go far enough and they don't feel justified or comedically justified. We've seen episodes where Jake seems a little too mean or Finn seems a little too mean because they weren't justified. And it's kind of the same thing here where it just does not... Yeah, it's like Breakfast Princess seems kind of like a jerk, in the intro. But yeah, it just seemed like... All I think of when I think of this episode is them hurting someone, and they have the mean eyebrows going, ha 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 ha, and that's all I think of when I think of this episode.
Well, and the worst joke to me that I thought, I don't know, was when they were being chased by one of the Maple guys, and they put the holes in, and he goes right... And first of all, he doesn't just fall out, they push him the hell out, and you see him fall...
And it looks like it hurts!
Yeah. And I was waiting for the bottle to shatter, frankly. And I was like, oh no! And they're just and it pauses and they're like, hooray, alive, and it was like, and I guess that was supposed to be the joke, and I was like, that is so not even funny at all. Like, that's horrible.
Even when Breakfast Princess gets hit by the car, it's like the violence in this seems surprisingly a little too real.
Yeah.
It's like when you get hit by the car, it's like a real thud down and stuff, and when when they poke someone in the eye, they're like really crying and they're really red,
Yeah.
and it's just all the pain looks like they're really feeling it, but not. It's not a cartoon extreme way where like they smash them or they do something really comedic, because A, it's not justified, B, it's not over the top. It's done way too real.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lemon people were arguably in worse conditions, and yet that was done in a way that you didn't cringe. You're like, oh, that's crazy, creepy and stuff, but you didn't cringe. This, it was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because it's
What
pushing
the
it to
heck?
an extreme you know can't exist, and just because
Ooh.
these characters, obviously these syrup people can't exist,
Yeah.
still the way they're being treated, like I said, poking them in the eye and pushing them, and like you said, when he falls, it's like you feel that fall,
Oh my
and
God.
it's not fun because you just feel bad for these poor people that have done nothing wrong.
That
And,
seemed like nice people. Like,
Yeah.
they're just kind of like, hey, what's up, you know?
And Marceline and LSP are just being, just needlessly mean. And like I said, I've seen stuff before where people are needlessly mean and it's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has to be justified. It has to be just that right balance. And yeah, this one both doesn't go far enough and goes a little too far somehow.
Yeah.
Like I said, the violence is a little too real. It's not extreme enough. So to a point where you can laugh at it and that would never happen.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the situation where you say that would never happen, because you're right, it's like something out of high school.
Yes.
Where that happens. It's kind of like the same thing where it's like, if you just imagine this happening in a high school as opposed to the Land of Ooh or whatever, it's like, would you be laughing? I mean, it's
Oh
like,
my God.
probably not,
Yeah.
So,
I do want to bring this up. You were saying, Breakfast Princess was kind of being a jerk and all that stuff. But let's toss this into the mix. LSP was not invited.
and she was making a
That's
ruckus
true.
and
She
stuff too.
was eating the food. She crashed the party. She's the one that got up in the middle of, it was... Okay, one great joke. Raggedy Princess, fine, take all my socks! That I thought was hilarious.
I want to know,
Yeah, okay.
did we ever see Voodoo Princess before? Because I saw her,
I don't
I'm like,
remember
what is
her.
that character's story?
And the one with the...
No, the one with the skull.
No, the
Other
one with the hand.
Oh yeah, I don't know
That
that
one
one
too.
either. Yeah.
I liked Fetus Princess.
Yes.
But, okay, so yeah, I thought that was funny with the socks. But LSP is there and she starts doing what she normally does. Turning all the attention on her, wanting to make a huge ruckus, wants to be annoying, and all of her is annoying. And so she's like, well, wait, what the hell are you even doing here? If you were invited, it was a mistake. And she was being bitchy, don't get me wrong, but LSP wasn't even supposed to be there.
Yeah, it's like,
That's
so it's
true.
not even that
That's
justified. Yeah.
You
What-
know?
But on top of that, she was starring the ruckus too. It's like she's gonna crash the party, that's one thing, but she is literally saying, look at me, stopping everything, and
Yeah, and then she's leaving. It's like, yeah, you can see Breakfast Princess, yeah, she's being a bitch or a jerk or whatever, but at the same time, imagine having a party, someone showing up to it that was not invited, and then that person literally causing a ruckus and saying, pay attention to me, screw all you.
Well, I would it's one thing to say, please leave. You weren't invited, please leave. It's another thing, to, again, and not to say that LSP is blameless, because obviously she's the worst too, but it's another thing to humiliate someone like that. I mean, it's just mean-spirited to humiliate. It's something to say, you know what, you weren't invited. I don't understand why you're here, please leave. As opposed to, you don't belong here, you're not even a real princess, and you have a shitty house, and you have a shitty blah, 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 blah.
let's just agree they
it's
were
just-
all awful.
They were!
Hold on.
They were!
3 of them were. Breakfast Princess, LSP, and Marceline. All
I
the
guess-
other ones were kind of fine and dandy.
I
They
guess
were,
that's
had their own
true,
little
yeah.
They were doing their little thing.
quarrels
yeah.
and all that stuff. I love PB. Come on, let's get out of here. Yeah, I'd like to, but I'm really invested in this crossword puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I
cute.
loved that.
I think the last thing that comes to my head is that, like I said, I mean, we've seen stuff like Looney Tunes and stuff where they just do mean-spirited things, but there's a charm, there's a wit, and there's a way to identify with them that, I don't think is in this one because they never did anything that smart or funny. Even if you're not going to do something where it's like they're obviously stupid, be funny in how stupid they are.
Yeah.
You know, we don't even really get that. We just sort of get harsh meanness. So
It's been done before on the show, and like I said, this one seems to be like they didn't know what they were going for, or I don't know. And like I said, usually this show is spot on with like continuity and all of that stuff and catching errors, but this entire episode, like I said, has to be a dream or something because Marceline was out in the sun, no problems, no questions asked, and that's a huge flaw for a show that's usually really good.
well, especially about that, you're right, because they like you say, even in the teleporting or the flashback or whatever, even then she's covered, and it's like such smart attention to detail. And there's times where they drop the ball on something. It's like, why couldn't Jake turn into whatever? But that is such an obvious one. I mean, that is just, if this happened, if sun hits her, she burns. I mean, it's just boom. There's no like she didn't think of a way out of it. Hey, I could have thought of a way out of it. It's just sun hits her, she burns. It's just as straightforward as that.
No, if it was them like going from building to building or something like that, where it's like, okay, in another building.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever, no biggie. They didn't catch it, whatever. But this was like an entire, like half of the thing where they're running around outside.
Yeah.
Like the whole last part of it was them outside in the sun. And it's like, okay, that's just a flaw right there.
I guess there were clouds, but it's like there's plenty of blue
But if you
in there
look at when
too.
the car goes down, it's sunny, and then it goes into the shade of the,
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Even that excuse I couldn't, work out.
So that,
And also, I now want breakfast.
yes, I would die in that kingdom.
desperately want breakfast right now.
I'm not a huge candy person, so the candy kingdom I could live in.
Yeah.
Because
No, I'm with you.
wouldn't do
I'm
anything.
breakfast.
Yes.
I'm
But
pure
breakfast,
Oh my God.
eggs, bacon,
Pancakes.
sausage and pancakes. Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Let's get some.
I
Oh,
feel like
right now.
we're just gonna go make some.
That's all we got.